Greetings, viewers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Business in Africa here on Africa Renaissance TV with me, Mohamed M. Seriba. Like I said on our last episode, today we'll be discussing about the growth stage of a business. We've concluded the preliminary stage of a business, so now we transition to the growth stage of a business. So to have this discussion, I have someone that has been into business, someone who has been in the field of business for almost a year now. So our guest here today is Mr. Buba Sanna Njie. Mr. Buba Sanna Njie will take us through the activities that are involved in the growth stage of a business. Welcome to Business in Africa.
Thank you, Mr. Sedikan. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and thank you for granting us this interview. So before we get into the discussion, can you please introduce yourself to our guests?
Right. Good morning, viewers. I am Buba Sanna Njie, the founder and CEO of the Bobling Brand.
Yeah, thank you so much. The Bobling Brand has been a very household name. It's a household name in the Gambia as far as the fashion industry is concerned now. So we'll be talking about the growth stage of a business. So at what point of a business do we consider as the growth stage of a business?
Thank you so much. Well, for me, I consider even a startup as the beginning of the growth of your business, because people treat startup and a business differently. Like a beginning of the business, usually it's called the startup. But first thing that we concentrate on in building business is the planning part. That is when the ideas come in, and it's usually the most exciting part of creating business and the growth of the business, because these are the time when you just got out of sour, you're having fresh ideas. Man, this is what I want to do. I want to create great companies. I want to supply the whole country with Gesna, for example. But what comes after that is, how do you make sure there will be a market for this first? Because when the idea comes in, before you even come to investing the money, because usually if you look at the principle in startup, in business, they will tell you, first you have to write ideas, second you have to go do the market study, or you have to do the investment, or blah blah blah, get the capital first. But for me, according to my experiences and the experiences that I've learned from my friends that are into business, that actually induct me in the business, is that if you've got the idea first, you need to study the market second. Just know what kind of market is there for my product. How can I penetrate this market? Then if you get that, you can start to invest in the business. So getting the idea and the actual investment is the first step of the growth in the business for me. So it's where the growth of the business starts. Then you penetrate the market. If you penetrate the market, you have established market for your products already now. So you can know how many volume can I bring in my products. Like if you're producing sites, how many volumes can I create that can actually fit in the market? Then if you understand that, then it starts from there. Yeah. But these are the basics that you need to get first before actually growing. And so this is why I think even the startup itself is the first step of growth of the business.
So a startup itself, it's
the first step of growth of the business.
Because you always dreaming to go higher and higher when you are starting your business.
Right.
So basically, what are some of the activities that are involved, the necessary activities that are carried out during the startup, the growth stage of a business?
Well, for me, this will depend on who you ask, and depending on what kind of business that you're into. For example, I'm into fashion. I sell Gesna, these are textiles, and also I do backpacks. So for my Gesna business, my activities might be different from someone that is selling cements, right? Because we need different tools, we need different markets. So for me, the key activity in my business, I'm gonna give you my story. So I'm so people can relate to it, because it's a different business. But this can be general too for all the businesses.
I think people can relate from what you are doing.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, my key activity has been spotting my client base, who am I going to target if I get into Gesna business? Because I mean, I love fashion. I wear Gesna a lot before even I get into business. And all my friends, you know, because I have a political life, I have a political side of me. I'm sure you know that. So exactly. So all of them, you know, it's not these young politicians. They want to be swag and stuff, you know, look all presidential and stuff. So I'm like, man, I think I need to get into this Gesna business. And the key supplier of Gesna or importer of Gesna in this country is, he's my friend. He's the biggest Gesna importer. And I think, well, my friends said I'm the second largest Gesna importer, but the biggest importer is my friend. And I got inspiration from him. I talked to him about it. He said, man, you need to get into it. So I talked to him. I've actually secured a supply, even though I did not start my business yet. But I talk to people who actually wear Gesna, and I tell them, look, I mean, this is the fabric that I wear, and this is what you wear. So I'm thinking of bringing that. Yeah. So I consulted a few friends, and they said, man, we're going to take a supply from you. Then, no, I started small, with very small volume. I bought about 120 meters for a start. I sell it to my friends. They wear it. I run my advertisement with it. So it goes like that because I have a huge social media presence too. So that's the first activity that I have done. And second activity that I have done in my startup is actually penetrating the market. So I started low key, you know, I just go and buy from my friend and resell, you know. So the second step I took was getting a store for myself because I've never had a store before. I just keep everything in my car. If you order, I call you where you at, I deliver it to you. But my client base actually expanded at some point, and some of them want to come to the store and pick the design, the detail that they actually want. So for me, I don't have a store, and I just have a supplier. I cannot take you to my supplier and choose what you want, you know. So I just have to go and post them if you like it. You know how the ordering stuff goes. But then I could not keep up with that because of the demand for my product. So I actually took a store in Serekunda. You know, so I order more. By the time, you know, I realized, man, everybody was coming to me, and now I've started even giving wholesale.
So now Bobling is a household name, I can say. You know, because we've been seeing celebrities, you know, politicians buying from the Bobling brand. So now, most people, if you talk to them about business, they will say finance is what is rendering me from starting a business. What do you say to that? How is finance vital to the growth of a business?
Well, I mean, I actually wanted to be asked this question, you know, because I think a lot of conversation around business has been just kind of an academic exercise, you know, the rules of business, blah, blah. Some of these things doesn't work in business. Sure. You have to get into the business, then you know how it...
The book knowledge of business is actually...
It's totally different. From the... Like, let me give you this introduction before I get to the answer. I studied commerce in high school. You know, I went to the university. You know, my brothers were like, no, dude, you have to do accountancy. You're a very good commerce student. I've got 8 credits from high school. I went to university. I'm like, no, I'm going to study politics. I'm not studying accountancy anymore. You know, can you imagine? My family knew about my politics study second year of my studies. Wow. Yeah, because this is my passion. Yeah, like I grew passion for politics, and I just follow my heart. But I still have my little business acumen because my dad is a local businessman. You know, so but the business in textbook is different from the actual reality in the market.
Sure, very well.
You know, so finance is very key in business. It's really important because if you don't have capital, it's going to be really hard for you to start a business. But for me, in as much as finance and capital is important in an investment, you just need to know, where do I start? You know, what can I manage with? How much money do I need? For example, you need $1 million to start big businesses like maybe car spare parts, or maybe car business. You need $1 million for that. But, you know, just scale down a bit. If you want to sell spare parts, or if you want to be a car dealer, start with something small. You know,
batteries.
Maybe batteries, you know, lamps, you know, bulbs of the cars. Then you will go. For example, if your budget is $100,000, but if you get $10,000, for example, you can start with bulbs. Sure. You know, the profit that you make, you can adjust.
Yeah.
You can actually adjust. So finance is a key hindrance to a lot of startups in this country. But man, I think people need to scale down a bit and just go with what they can access.
Sure. Like you go in for what you have. That's very important.
I did not start selling packs of gas. No, I started buying meters and selling that.
You didn't start with producing itself.
No.
That requires a lot of funding.
Right.
So, now, how does human resources is important to business as far as the growth is concerned? Because at some point, you know, the human resources is what is required to improve your business. You need the human resources for everything. So how important is it to?
Well, I think that's the major, or is the key thing that holds the business, because if you don't have a business, smart people in your business that actually gonna hold the business is really gonna fail. Because the thing is, for example, me, I started alone, but I could not continue alone. You know, I have to bring in my sisters, I have to bring in my cousins to the business, because I can't do this supply at the same time, doing the delivery, doing the carting, doing the packaging, counting the money. I cannot deal with those things. So my younger sister is there, man. She's studying human resources at the university.
That's great.
So I brought her in. So at least she's managing my salary budgets. You know, she makes sure that all the delivery guys are at the store. When the orders are made, they deliver the stores. He makes sure there's a communication between the staff. Although we are not much, but you know, she's the one responsible for that. Because, for example, like I'm the CEO, but I cannot deal with 100 calls a day because I have staff that are responsible for that. So she makes sure. I mean, she's running my human resource department. You know, she doesn't even have an office. We are all in the same store, but you know, we all know that this is my responsibility. These are my roles. So we all try to execute those things.
So what are some of the marketing tools that businesses needs for the growth? Some of the marketing tools.
Well,
I can say marketing is one of the most important aspects of business, because marketing leads to the profit.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So what are the tools that are required?
So marketing tools also, it varies from different businesses, because also it depends on what kind of business you're in. So you can know what kind of marketing strategy am I going to use that would actually make my campaign booming. You know, but clearly the key marketing tool that actually boosts sales for a lot of businesses is social media. Because you know, social media is like a freedom highway. For example, me, I leverage on my influence, little influence I have on social media, because I have a little following. I have friends who have huge following on social media. So I leverage on that. When I make a post, I call them, dude, I mean, can you go and see my post? You know, they see it. I sell gas not to you. You wear it. I make sure you send me a picture. I make sure you post it on your wall. If you post it, I go and see it and distribute it.
Social media nowadays, you know, we have to use technology in order to boost our business profitability. So I'm sure our audience will be very excited to know about the Bobling Brand. So, but we'll take our first commercial break. So when we come back, we talk about the Bobling Brand.
Sure.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. We are talking about the growth state of a business. I am here with the founder and the CEO, the face behind the Bobling Brand, Mr. Buba Sanna Njie. So we will be talking about the Bobling Brand itself in this after this break. So now, take us through the inspiration behind the Bobling Brand. What inspired you to start the Bobling Brand?
Well, I have always been a business-minded person. I told you, I am from a business home. My dad was a local trader. Even before I was born, I think my dad left the country in early 70s. He was in Ivory Coast, Libya, and in Saudi. He's been in Saudi for more than 8 years, in Mecca, Medina, doing these, petty businesses, when pilgrims comes, he helps some of those people to, do their, buying and stuff. So I remember when I was a kid, anytime Hajj is coming close, a bunch of people will come to our house to seek advice from my dad, from the business aspect of the Hajj. If you go to Mecca, obviously, now it's very expensive. Yeah. So after buying the ticket, you have to give your mom or your uncle some pocket money for shopping. Sure. So he advised them on their shopping and stuff.
It's not only about the pilgrimage.
No. It's that's huge market in it. Yeah, right. So he advising them on the business aspect of it, like their shopping and stuff. So and I learned a lot from that early age. And also, as a commerce student, although I end up being a political science student, I mainly focusing on communication and media though. But business has been in my head, and my last employment actually was with the UN migration. So when I left, my friends were like, dude, you're crazy. Everybody want to get a job at the UN. So why did you leave at this age? I told him, look, I have a vision, and I think I cannot continue working 9 to 5. Man, I'm not saying 9 to 5 is not good. It's great. It's really good. It builds you up. But being who I am, man ko ka venta ko candidate. Yeah, they dal yeah. So I said I can continue because I love what I was doing because I love communication. This is what I'm.
So I believe all these in line of passion. It's the passion that.
Yeah, if you follow your heart, you'll follow what you want to do. You will never go astray. So I left all of that to start my business. So and when I was started, like I said, I started small, and everybody was like, no, but at the end of the day, the business was booming and still booming. Still, I'm still growing, So and they're like, oh man, dude, I think you've made the right decision. Yeah.
Business is very important.
It is.
It's very important for us.
Yeah, because I want to be wealthy, man, and I don't think I can be wealthy in the 9 to 5. So yeah.
So what are the product line of Bobling Brand, and then what makes it unique? What makes it stand out?
Well, I think the swag, because a lot of people sell gas now, but I try to be so innovative with it. I went to Austria and I ordered my gas from Austria. So the kind of gas that I have, I know, DJ and our friend knows gas stuff, the fabric. So they are first class, second class, but I don't even think, and there is no second class of gas now, there's just one gas now. The other ones are just Mbasanya and stuff. But some people will sell Mbasanya and tell people, oh, this is Gesna or second class. There's no second class. It's just Mbasanya, but not Gesna. So I sell Super Magnum Gesna. This is the highest class of Gesna because it has very extricate details, nice patterns, So if you wear it, you feel good about it, So I made I have a very good tailors. I have a partnership with Cotton Fit Tailoring, who is my cousin actually. So I think she's the baddest fashion designer in this country. So if you buy from me, you go to her for design. So it makes it look really good. Yeah, and
I believe one day we'll also have we putting on a
yeah. So but what actually made my Gesna stand out is the flavor that I added to it. The fabric are actually very interesting, very nice and beautiful, colorful, but it has to do with how you market this product. Because I make it look like, my Gesna is the best Gesna in the world. So. Even if you go to Austria, you bring it, but mine will sell faster than yours because, I made all the celebrities, most of the celebrities in this country buy from me. And they posted, my Gesna is called Super Magnum. Everybody just calls mine Super Magnum. They don't even call it Gesna. They will call, boy, Bobling Magnum, boy, Magnum la bugada, boy, nakala don't want to fan la muna ame Magnum. So I got all of them covered. So it has to do with how do you add something to your product that's going to make it look, more sexier, more swag to people, so they will come to you.
I think it's a value, you know.
It's the value.
Anything that you're doing, if the value is good, now people will appreciate it, and then this will help you in your market.
Yeah.
So, you know, what are some of the challenges that you face at the beginning of your business? You know, of course, there are challenges.
There are. Even today, I was talking about one challenge on my story.
Okay.
The biggest challenges in any business in this country, not only Bobling Brand, is Kiankas and Sahules. They take your stuff, they won't pay you. Yeah, for real. So that has been a great challenge because some people will come that you believe will not take your stuff from you and they wouldn't pay you. I mean, these are friends. These are people that you hold in high position. You know, they will come, but, you know, can you bring 8 meters for me? Okay, yeah, this guy doesn't need my stuff. He knows I'm a startup. He knows I'm just struggling. He's going to pay me, of course. You give him your product, I'll pay you next week. Come to my office next week. They wouldn't pay you. Trust me. Because
that's
for,
a challenge.
yeah, for me, every button of the Bobling Brand that stay out of my account for a day, I'm losing a lot of value in stock. You know, so it doesn't matter whether it is $2 or $3, but my dollars has to be in my account because that's my security. Sure. That's what's going to push my business. That's the only thing that can make my business booming. So the greatest challenge in business here, and this is why many businesses are failing, because I mean, there are technical side of businesses, of challenges though, but the key challenge for me is Julujo. Julujo Balia is the one making all the business fail. I've seen people, most especially ladies, they started selling their bags, started selling shoes, and their business crumble. They don't eat all the money. I mean, most of them are get lost in debt.
So,
yeah.
Okay. Now, is it only the chestnuts that you sell, or are some of the other products, if there is any?
Yeah. So the other products that I sell is backpacks. You see this backpack right there, the blue Victorlac bag. So we launched this backpack this summer. Although we've been importing some backpacks, but we mainly supply institutions that support children. You know, I mean, some underprivileged kids that are going to school. You know, the institution that take care of them. They support them with their school and stuff. But this time, can you imagine? I've been doing that for about 3 months, but I launched the backpack business formally or officially, I think last week.
Okay, last week.
Because you have to be strategic about these things. You know, we started it in March, but that's not the right time to launch a backpack business because I've seen we're in the summer already. Back to school is about to start. It's hitting already. So when I launched the backpack business, I mean, I announced it on my social media sites. 20 minutes later, I got more than 10 backpack sales.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, because everybody's gonna get it because you're going to school, you want to travel for the summer, you need a backpack because it has different compartments and it has some charging features. I mean, the inner part of the bag is very roomy, so it can contain a lot of things. So it has great features that we actually display outside, and it attracts a lot of people. So that people are coming.
Social media is doing very well for you. So
it's my Bible.
So,
yeah.
So now I want to ask this, like you know, I studied in India.
Right.
So if I saw clothes in India, obviously every store or every fashion designer will have a special logo that it puts on its brand.
Right.
Anywhere you wear his clothes, it shows that this is from this guy. Everybody knows from this guy because of that uniqueness.
Right.
Do you have that for Bobling Brand?
Well, I don't have a logo yet on my stuff on my Gesner, because the thing is, personally, or for Bobling Brand, let me not say personally, because I mean Bobling Brand and me are different entities. Yeah. So for Bobling Brand right now, we are not doing sewing yet. Okay. You know, so if you get into sewing, obviously our logo will be tied here, right here. So because I told you I have partnership with Cut and Fit. Cut and Fit does that, and also Cake Creation. You know about Cake Creation, right? Sure. Yeah. So I remember the last 8. They're the one who sold my Gesner for Ala Hussein Udabo. And that's really important. Although I don't start it yet because I don't start sewing yet. I don't start manufacturing yet. That's why.
That's very important. So now, how do people contact the Bobling Brand? How do we contact? Where is your location, and then the contact details?
Yeah. So the location of Bobling Brand, the business address is in Serekunda Market, and that's a new market in Serekunda, opposite the Nigerian market. That's where my store is, and we can be reached and 298-7145, and also on all our Bubbling Brand social media platforms. We've got our numbers everywhere displayed. So, I mean,
yeah, you can contact them from the Facebook. You know, I've actually contacted him from Facebook.
Sure.
We also have the interview. So you can contact them from the Facebook, the Bubbling Brand official for Facebook page. Now, finally, what advice do you have for the youths as far as entrepreneurship is concerned?
Well, I mean, we have a lot of things to tell new entrepreneurs. First, you need to know that entrepreneurship is a suffering. You know, so you need to get prepared for it. It's not as easy as you might think. You know, 3 years down the line, you might start enjoying, you know, riding beautiful new cars, but you need to get prepared that I'm getting into a sovereign, and I must prepare for it. And no matter the pressure, I'm gonna deal with it, right? Last night I was talking to a friend. She's a manager at one of the hotels, and she started a startup. She said, "Bob, you know, I want to quit." You know, and she started her own business like a month ago. I told her, "Man, you can't quit." Because the thing is, the kind of energy that you're putting into your managerial position at the hotel, imagine, just put 20% of that in your startup. I'm not saying quit. I quit my job to do my business, but maybe you're not in the position to do it because you've got bills to pay. But just put some energy into your own stuff too, and be resilient with it. And also, I think we've had a lot of businessmen, a lot of even philanthropists, a lot of inspirational or motivational speakers telling business people or entrepreneurs, man, you have to be humble, you have to be humble. I don't go by that. I don't, you know, I listen to people, I listen to colleges, but I don't take all the stuff that I take from motivational speakers. I don't even listen to most of them. I don't even go and line checking it out. Because the thing is, like, you cannot tell me to be humble. You know, being humble, I mean, can be actually subjective, right? Yeah, that means, okay, and stuff. But I'm a businessman. I can be humble about my business. Man, I sell the best backpack in this country. I cannot be humble about that. You know, I bring the best guests now from Austria. Sure. Right? I mean, it has the best patterns.
So for marketing, you can be humble about your business. Yeah. You can be humble personally.
Personally, yeah. But that means, first, you need to understand that my business is a different entity. For example, look at Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, the founder of Facebook. He's always wearing a shirt, right? Yeah. But anytime he has a new feature added on Facebook, he'll be talking about it everywhere, blah, 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 blah. So you don't need to bluff about your personal belonging. Nobody knows whether I have a house or not. Nobody knows how many pair of Jordan I have. But anytime I have a new product, it's on social media. Anytime I have a new arrival, it's on social media. So yeah, you have to bluff about these things and seek validation from it. I'm not saying seek validation from people like according to like the kind of clothes you wear, if you seek no, but seek validation from people, from the businesses that you do. Like you sell bags, you need people's opinion on the kind of bag you have. So you need that validation. And man, brag. Brag about your products, man. People can see you as a kid of a boy bluff, but your children, your grandchildren will enjoy that bragging.
Sure. That's very important. Resilience is very important as far as your businesses are concerned. Thank you so much for granting us this interview. And we believe we'll be having more of this kind.
Sure, anytime.
Thank you so much. This is all from us. Contact details of the marketing team of ARTV will be available on your screen. If you need any marketing partnership, you can contact us. This is all from us. This is Business in Africa with me, Mohammed M. Seriba. TV will come your way next time. Bye-bye.